Today we are going to discuss how to set preferences in Scribus. As I have been saying repeatedly, preferences setting will take effect on all future documents of Scribus. Supposing you give a setting in preferences, that will be carried out in all the future documents of Scribus. So whenever you give a setting, don't feel bad that the setting has not been incorporated or the change is not suddenly seen in your current document. So preferences, when you change a setting in preferences, that is meant to change the preferences for all the future documents. So before starting the use of Scribus, I would like you all to go to File, Preferences, and change these preferences setting accordingly so that you will be comfortable generating documents using Scribus. So whenever the preference window is open, just click the General. So in General, this interface will open. Here you can choose a language. So English is a default. So that is the reason why no language is shown here. If at all you are interested in any other language, you can choose the other languages also. Now next comes a theme. Theme is actually the layout of the toolbar and the title bar of the Scribus. So you can use a theme which will mimic the Windows theme. So if you choose Windows theme, so more or less the icon as well as the arrangement of all the tools and the title bar and the menu bar will more or less simulate Windows environment. So you will be more familiar with Windows environment. So I will advise you to choose Windows. You can choose Windows XP or Windows Vista, but just Windows alone will do. You can even choose Motif and try out all these things which could suit you. But since if you are more familiar with Windows theme, it is better to stick to Windows theme. And then here next comes the font size. This font size is actually the size you see in the size of the font inside the menu. So when you click a menu button, so you see this is actually the menu. This is actually the font size. Usually the default is 8 points. Supposing you want a larger sized font to make your viewability comfortable, so you can choose increase the size of the font accordingly for the menu fonts. Then comes the font size in a palette. So palette is nothing but a color scale. So when within the palette words will be displayed. So for the palettes, again you can change the font size. The default is 8 points. You can choose the default points as per your preferences. Then time before move or resize start. Supposing you give a move order or a move command, the time after your command, time taken for the Scribus software to execute the command is by default 150 milliseconds. If you feel that 150 milliseconds is too long, you can decrease it to your convenience. Now, if you set this to 150 milliseconds, usually it takes this amount of time as you set inside this setting for the execution to start. So, if you want to move a text box or an image box from one place to another, the moment you drag and drop, this 150 milliseconds is the time taken. Time it waits for the command to complete. So, 150 milliseconds is actually roughly the time you take to complete the command of drag and drop by using the cursor or a mouse. So here I prefer you not to mess up with the default setting. And then wheel jump is the number of lines your page will jump when you scroll your mouse. So when you scroll your mouse once, it jumps 40 lines. So if you really want to be slow in reading, you can reduce the wheel jump to 10, 20 as per your convenience. So the default is if you scroll once, it will jump 40 lines. And then here the recent document setting, as soon as you open the file, I'll show you. As soon as you open the file, so open recent. So here it displays 3 recent documents, because that is the amount of documents, recent documents is available here inside my system. So by default it is 5, set to be 5. The default documents set to recent documents which is displayed is set to be 5. Supposing you want to display more documents under that head, you can increase the number accordingly. And then the splash screen on the startup, if you want to show, that is the what you see, the pen nib which you see when the software starts up, if you want, you make this checkbox. If you feel that you don't want that splash screen to appear on startup and hog your resources, you can uncheck this. And then startup dialog box is actually which tells you the new file. It asks you the size of the page, and I will show that also here. Supposing, for example, this is the dialog box which you will see as soon as the program starts. This is the startup dialog box. This I have already gone through in my previous session. So this is the dialog box which is shown. So if you don't want to see that dialog box, you can uncheck this show startup dialog box. So this you can uncheck. If you uncheck this, this won't show. And then again, even in the startup box itself, you have the feature of in disabling it. You just check the box where don't show it again. It won't show it again. Then here, this is where you can choose where you want the documents to be saved. So here the default happens to be documents folder. You can change your folder as per your convenience or requirement by clicking the change button. Then ICC profile, again you need to have loaded the profile for you to change it. And then if you plan to write a script in Python or execute a script in Python, you can always use the scripts by changing and going out the folder where the scripts are contained. It will be automatically taken inside the Scribus. So Scribus, you can use scripts to automate certain repetitive process. So that is a feature which allows this scripter to do. Then document templates. There are a lot of templates available in your Scribus. Number of websites which come out with Scribus templates. So you can use these templates by saying change and go to the template folder. You can always add these templates for your future use. So this is this is actually the general settings which you can choose. And never forget to click the apply button. If you don't click the apply button, none of the changes you made will be applied. Next comes the document setting. Here this is the same setting which you saw in the new document window. You can choose whether a document is got in a single page or in a double-sided 3-fold or 4-fold. This we have already gone through exhaustively when we discussed the new document page. And here the first page you choose. Usually a book's first page will be the right page. If you are printing a book or you are preparing a manuscript in a book format, just make it right page. You have the choice of making to the left page also, no problem. And then here you set the inside, outside, all the white spaces to be given, spaces to be left in the inside border, outside border, top, bottom, all these things. Default is 40 points. You can always increase it to your requirement. Then bleed, I have already told you, you need to make it a 3-point bleed. You give 3 points on all sides for a printer's ink to bleed safely. And then undo and redo. So here you can undo and redo. So normally undo and 20 histories are saved by default. 20 undo and redo histories are held within the software. So you can go back and forth 20 times. Supposing you want to increase this action length, so you want to go up to 50 or 60, it is still possible. It can undo 60 such actions which you have executed if you increase the action history length. But mind you, this has a price. This will hog your memory. So every history length will be held in your RAM, and every time you go back and forth, your system is going to be slowed down. If a system has adequate resources, you can increase the action history length. And then autosave interval, again the default is 10 minutes. Ideally, if you are working on a large document and if you are working in a really feverish pace, you should reduce this to either 3 or 4 minutes, so that every 3 minutes the software will save your work, auto save your work, instead of you clicking the save button every now and then. The system itself, the software itself will save your work. So this is actually the default interval is 10 minutes. So if you are working at a very feverish pace, it's better you reduce the interval, make it 3 minutes or 2 minutes as per your convenience. Then comes the guide. We have discussed about these guides in our document setup. It is the same thing in the preferences also. So here where do you place the guides? Guides are always placed in the background as shown here. Here the guides are placed in the background, and then the distance is 10 point snap distance. The same, these are all default settings which I have already discussed in the document settings. So let us not dwell too much of time in the guides. So here these things have already been discussed under document settings. It's the same settings. Then typography, again typography has been adequately discussed under document settings. Then regarding tools, it's the same thing as far as the fonts, size, text color, text stroke, fill color, all these things can be changed. And this again we have discussed in detail while we were discussing on the document preferences. This is the general preferences which is going to be carried out in all your future document. Then let us go to hyphenation. It's the same thing. You choose hyphenation suggestion, and then if you choose hyphenate text automatically during typing, it will start automatically to hyphenate your sentences. So it is always better to allow it to suggest the hyphenation issues, so that you can decide whether to carry it out or not. Spell check, actually I won't advise you, because the spell check is available in this Scribus is pretty nascent, and it won't be as good as your text editor spell checks. So then I am coming to fonts. So this is actually the fonts available in the system which is being displayed. So if you want to any other fonts other than this list which is given, you need to manually install them. Then printer, again this same configuration you would have undergone, and you would have adjusted in your document setting, but this is actually the general setting. If you prefer to do it only once, you do it here instead of doing it every time there. So if you want to create one setting and you want it to be carried out in all your future document, this is the place you go and apply your setting. So this is actually the printer setting. You need to be in active communication with your official printer to get the settings from what type of printer he is having. If you are going to use a PDF, all the settings will be automatically defaultly given. So if you choose print, all the settings will be automatically given. So PDF is not a problem. If you want to manually print your work, it is better to coordinate with your printer regarding the printer's requirement for that specific printer. Next comes a pre-flight verifier. This is actually the verifier which will verify all the pages in your document, whether it will look good in print, whether all the letters will be visible in the print, or if some of the letters or images are going to be cut because they are out of margins of the paper. So these things will be checked by pre-flight verifier. So one other important thing the pre-flight verifier checks is the resolution of the images. So you ensure that you give out at least 300 dpi resolution for the images to look at least better on print. So 144 dpi is actually the very low resolution, but here to allow the pre-flight verifier a huge margin so that it doesn't throw out errors, we have set it as 144 dpi as the lowest resolution, and the highest resolution happens to be 2004 dpi. But if you are going to go ahead and do a digital atlas, you need to start from 1400 and go on up to 600 dpi. So that if you do that only, your atlas will look great. So this resolution you need to decide pertaining to the requirement of the image resolution, and then all the other things, check for PDF file, check for GIF images. All these things are defaultly set by your PostScript system. Then color management, again we have not activated the color management, because this color management you need to activate in consonance with your printer's requirement. If you activate, it will display all the choices which are available. So you need to ask the printer what type of color printer he is having and what profile will be using. So you need to choose the profile which your printer is going to use and give the input here. Then only it will be executed. So this same setting you would have again seen in your document preferences. This is the general preference, and the other thing is the document preference, which we have already completed. So again, PDF, this I have already told you, where you have the choice of either attaching all the pages to the PDF document, or if you want to send out a sample of your work, you can choose pages by clicking this radio button and choose the pages and ensure that only those pages are included in the PDF, and you can send that PDF to for others to sample it. So that is one aspect which you can do here. And all the others, because you are going to use export a document as PDF, you allow all the default settings to stay back. And then security, again I have already told you about the passwords. You can set the password. In our previous class I have told you about the password setting, so that is pertaining to the document preferences. The same thing you can, if you want to carry out on all your documents, you give the setting here. I won't advise you to give that setting here for a simple reason. Some of the books you would like to throw it open, give it out free, so that in that case you cannot use encryption. So you always decide to use, in this aspect of the setting, you decide at the level of the document. So by going to the document level, I will show you that. So here you need to decide that setting here at the level of the document setup. So you need to do the setting document setup, and that will give out the setting pertaining to the document. So I'm going to go to the preferences again. So we are in the document item attributes. Again, this is helpful when you auto create a table of contents. So you always allow this also to be decided at the level of the document. Don't give out any settings in the preferences. Keyboard shortcut is what shortcuts you give to execute. Say supposing you press Ctrl N, a new document will be generated, and if you want to close the program, you press Ctrl F4. So similarly, save as Ctrl Shift S. So if you want to print the document, you press Ctrl P. So these are the shortcuts which will help you to save the time. You can customize this shortcut also by setting the key here and press the key for that job. Again, you can import these shortcuts which you would have created in another machine, or you would have created another version of Scribus. You can always have the choice of importing those shortcuts to the software. Similarly, you can export these shortcuts to a file. Here it will call key file. It will be kept in a folder. You choose a folder, and then you can import the same thing to another installation of Scribus or other Scribus installed other machines which you have. So that is a feature it gives you. Then this is another feature where it's called a scrapbook. Last time I gave you a small introduction about scrapbook. This is actually a place where images and commonly repeatedly accessed images and resources are held on. So if you just click this box, it will send all the copied items to the scrapbook. So when it is in the scrapbook, you need not constantly go in search of the resources in your desktop. All you got to do is open the scrapbook and the resources will be held there. You can always get those resources from the scrapbook. So if you enable this setting at the level of the preferences, this setting will be enabled all over the future documents. So use enable send copied items automatically to scrapbook, and then here if you click this, it will keep all the copied items inside the book. So what happens, it will become too unwieldy. So what you do is, if you want to do that, if you feel that you will be repeatedly using those resources in more than one of your book, so you can keep those items permanently across the sessions inside the scrapbook. And here there is another setting which gives you it gives you the tool to decide how many copied items you want to retain in your scrapbook. So you can always specify a number, 10, 20, 30. So the default is 10. Supposing you feel your system has adequate resources to keep more images and resources inside the scrapbook, you can always increase this number. Then comes a display. Here this is actually the way in which your scribus is displayed. If you give check this box, it will show the frame is here bordered by red, and then show images, it will show the images, show rulers, all these things you can check out. I mean, if you the moment you select, it becomes visible in the document. Then colors, so you can choose the fill color, you can choose the page border is red, you see the page border is red in color since it's red. And then here frame will be blue in color, so you see the blue frame, see. And then grouped are green in color, so these are grouped lines are green in color. So these are all that color code. You can change the color code as per your taste. This is actually to help you to guide to place the resources on the page accurately. And then external tools. Here Scribus can make use of external tools. It can make use of image editor like GIMP. GIMP is actually an open source version of something like a Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop. You can use GIMP. If you have installed GIMP inside your system, Scribus will automatically pick its executable and will give you the option of editing files within the environment of Scribus, making use of features of GIMP. The next is you can make use of the LaTeX. LaTeX is actually a document development software which is commonly used by scientific authors who want to create scientific literature. They love LaTeX for the simple reason that mathematical formulas, chemical formulas are very easy when you use LaTeX. Supposing if you have LaTeX installed, you can always use the configuration, it auto configures, and the same thing can be used in Scribus. If you install GNUplot is nothing but a graph generating tool, command line tool, which you can use to generate graph. So you can use GNUplot if you have installed GNUplot inside your system. And then LilyPond is actually a music notation software. If you are writing a book pertaining to music notation or music, you should install this LilyPond, so that it will enable the feature of music notation inside to be displayed inside your Scribus document. This is as far as the software tools which can be integrated with the Scribus. Even the text editor, you can incorporate an external text editor if you feel like. If you are comfortable with external text editor, you can always use an external text editor by clicking change and showing the installed version or executable. And then resolution is you set to 72 dpi, that is the resolution of the the screen, so that you will get to have a resolution which causes minimal strain to your eye. Then never forget to click apply for your settings to be applied. And then here in the miscellaneous setting, always ask before fonts are replaced when you load a document. Supposing when you are loading a document which has not been created using this version of Scribus, or which was created from another machine using Scribus, the fonts which you have used to create that document will not be available within this installation. So if you normally what it does is it appropriately replaces somewhat similar fonts which is found within its system. So if you check this box, it will warn you beforehand that I don't have the font in which the document was generated, so I will try to replace it with the nearest compatible font. So if you check that, it will ask for your concurrence before replacing the fonts. If you uncheck that, it will automatically replace the fonts with its choice, the choice which it feels that this font more or less matches with the font which is used to prepare the document, that font it will use. So if you check always ask, it will ask before it replaces. And then if you check this preview of current paragraph style visible when editing style. So when you want to edit a style, that's editing style, we will have another session. So when you want to edit a paragraph style using the style editor, if you enable this, style editor will show you a preview of the style. Whenever you edit, it will show you the preview. It will tell you it will show you how the document will look like if the edit is saved. So that aspect you need to enable, that is automatically enabled. So here this is actually Lorem lump sum. If you use this, you always use standard. There are numerous standards available for Lorem. Here if you check this, it will say always use standard Lorem ipsum. So that is actually one of the setting which you need not enable. It's an older type of font and which it's not used commonly. And then next, plugins. There is it shows the type of plugins which has already been installed. It has a barcode generator, it has a color wheel, it has a font preview, it has a Adobe Illustrator importer, because you can illustrate, you can import a file which is generated using Adobe Illustrator. So all these things are available by default. Plugins are available by default within Scribus. So if you want to know whether the plugin is available or not, all you got to do is click this plugin. It will show you the availability. Then comes short words. Short words are actually not used that much in English, so let us not bother. So for example, these are all the short words which are commonly used, and this is actually commonly used in LaTeX. So we are not going to bother much, because we are not going to use LaTeX. So I have already been telling you that Scribus task can be repeated using appropriate Python scripts. So if you use the enable scripts here and show the file where the scripts are installed, it will automatically ensure that the script is executed. Thank you very much. Let us meet in our next session.